First it was ghost camping, locking everyday Australians out of their own camping areas. Now New South Wales parks are hiking the prices so high that the Great Aussie Bush camping trip may have a price tag that most campers can no longer afford. New South Wales Parks has announced that they are potentially hiking some of the camping sites up to $89 per night in peak season. And this is supposed to combat ghost camping. But here is the problem. It doesn't just stop the rule breakers, it prices out everyday Australians. Families, grey nomads, young couples, the very people that rely on these locations to be able to get out and explore their own backyard. Camping should not be a luxury. It's the way that we get out and we explore, we spend time with our families, we put the phones away and we connect with the country. So the New South Wales government has done a survey. They did this survey in 2022 and they're now coming out with their findings and what they plan to do. It's all on their website and I'll link it below. But they've said that in the last 10 years, the visits to these national parks and camping areas has increased by 49%. So there's 895 parks and there's 365 camping grounds. So from their stats, they said they had 60.2 million visitors in 2018, but then but 53 million visitors in 2022. So it looks like it hasn't really gone up since before COVID, which is really interesting. Oh, but again, these stats aren't from 2023, 2024. These are from a couple of years ago. They conducted 220,000 surveys and they are saying that 87% of those people surveyed actually want to know that they've actually booked a site when they're coming to stay. So they're saying that 80% of people have said that they don't want a no booking system like first come first serve. They're going to be removing the booking fee, which I think is fair enough. I'm not sure why there is a booking fee when it's a public site. And they're also saying that, which this is the funny thing here, because obviously they weren't offering very good refunds before and that's why people weren't cancelling. But now they're saying they'll refund up to 80%. Like, why are they not just giving 100% refund? It's public money. I don't quite get that, but at least they're going to be encouraging more people to cancel their bookings if they're not going to show up. They also said that they're not going to be charging people for extra people on the site, and you can have up to 6 people for adults. But then in another paragraph, they've said that there's a discount if there's only 2. So technically they kind of are, because if there's only 2 people, you pay a lower rate, then you pay a fuller rate for more people. So I'm not sure how they've worked that out in their head, but to me, if it's a couple, it's a cheaper rate. And yeah, if there's 6 of you on it, then it's more expensive. So you are charging them for more people. A few different tiers of how they're doing the new structure. Tier 1 are campgrounds that are free and have minimal facilities. So therefore they've probably got no facilities. Camps, the tier 2 to 5 are campgrounds that have fees and aligned with the range of services provided and the quality of facilities at the visitor demand centre. Tier 6 would attract the highest fee with facilities such as camp kitchens, shower blocks, and hot water. And they're saying 86% of campgrounds in New South Wales would be 2 to 5, which means that that's less than 10% probably are going to be free. They've also saying that they're going to have low season and high season, which means they're hiking up their prices for peak seasons. Tier 2, where it'll be a pit toilet, like I assume that's like a drop toilet, will be serviced fortnightly. So they're saying that they're actually doing this to improve ghost camping and to improve management. So therefore have more monitoring going on, I guess, but they haven't actually specified how hiking the prices is going to benefit, because I guess people won't be paying $89 a night. So I get that, but then that means that people won't be able to afford to book. Like $89 a night in peak season because you can have a hot shower, that is a lot of money for families. So you can get a pit toilet. Tier 2 is the cheapest, which in low season is $13 a night. And then that goes all the way up to $89 a night, which is tier 6, where you can get a hot shower. And that will be 4% of the camps will be $89 a night in peak season. I would really love your thoughts on this. Does this then count you out of being able to camp in these national parks? or are you prepared to pay that sort of money? The cancellations, they're saying they will do 80% cancellation. The fees will be given a credit or a refund if they cancel with like at least 3 days before the booking, but it's less than that, it'll only be a 50% credit. So it says credit or refund. So it doesn't actually say specifically that you'll get your money given back to you or if you'll get a credit. But they're saying if there's a reason why the park has to close for like an emergency, then you'll get 100% back. I still don't understand why can't they just give 100% back if you're cancelling your booking? Because it's not a caravan park. It's not a business. This is for the people. It's for all Australians to enjoy. There's also a section here for alternative approaches that they considered, which is first come, first served. And they said that campers setting up equipment sometimes days before they're intended to hold the spot, which prevents other campers from using these sites. So in other words, you know, when you see these camps and people come up on the Wednesday and they're staying on the weekend because they want to get the best site. But again, like I think that's better than having people just not showing up at all and not cancelling. It's not ideal, but it's better than people ghost camping. Yet they're still saying that they considered full refunds results in an increase of speculative bookings. So one of the other things that has been brought up on my TikTok and Instagram and Facebook is that they should issue fines for people booking or leaving campsites unattended, and they're saying it's difficult to enforce. But I don't understand how that's difficult to enforce, because if you've got their booking, you've got all their details, you can just charge their credit card or give them a fine. You should have to give your license number or rego or something like that out that you can enforce that, because how are you going to enforce all this if you're expecting people to pay $40 a night up to $89 a night? I would think that you're going to have a lot more rangers in the park, and it's got to be a bit more service. Like you've got to have a bit more monitoring, because that's what you're saying that the plan is to do. So you can have your say. So if you want to have your say, which I highly recommend, I'm going to put the link to this paper in the description below, and I'll also put the have your say link in there as well. And you've got up until the 25th of May to have your say and say what you think. I just think it's quite extraordinary that they know that the park's services use has gone up 49%, yet in nowhere are they talking about making more camping available. There's no talk of allowing more campers in, which I would have thought that would be the best way to combat this. I know that these are national parks and you don't want to get them overrun, but if you're asking people to pay this money, then you're monitoring. You should be able to employ more people to look after the parks and make sure that the campers are doing the right thing. Which I know that out of 100% of people, there is only a tiny small percent of people that actually do the wrong thing. But if you're expecting people to pay good money to stay overnight in a park that's not a caravan park with all the power and all that kind of thing, there should be a lot more monitoring going on. Therefore, you should be able to monitor if people have not shown up, and you can either cancel their booking and free up the site, but also give them a fine for not showing up and not cancelling. But that's just my opinion. I'm not the National Parks Service or anything like that, but I would be interested to know if anyone who's made these decisions actually is a camper. So the changes were developed following consultation with more than 200,000 national park visitors and campers. So I guess that's what their survey. I would be interested to hear if anyone who watches this video actually was one of the people that filled out one of these surveys. Is this something that was sent out to everyone that has been at one of these parks more recently? The other day when I looked on the website, I am pretty sure you weren't able to book any of these campsites up until the end of June. But I've just looked on there now, and you can actually book campsites. So I'm not exactly sure how that's working, whether or not these are the new prices or if they're just implementing it even without waiting for the 25th of May for everyone to submit their have your say. I did notice on Camps WA that Parks WA doesn't seem like anything's changed on their website. I did notice that 14 Mile campsite, which we stayed at quite a few times, has now gone up to $20 a night. So I think they're slowly increasing their prices, but you can still only book up to 6 months in advance. So that doesn't look like there's much change there. But I did notice on the Victorian website that you could only book up until June as well. So they must be doing a little bit of an overhaul of their fees. The paragraphs Parks Victoria has on their site is camping in 131 of Parks Victoria's paid campground is free of charge between the 1st of December 24 and the 30th of June 25. Yeah, so I'm just looking at Bear Gully Campground, and that one as well, which is what I picked up the other day, was that they're not allowing any bookings to take place from the 1st of July. So that means anyone that's planning a trip in one of these Parks Victoria campgrounds cannot book anything for now. And I can't see anything on the website that's saying what exactly is going on or when you will be able to. It just says that you can free camp up until the 30th of June. In summary, it looks like Western Australia isn't changing anything at this stage. It looks like Parks New South Wales is going to be implementing a whole new system, different tiers, and they're going to start from $12 a night all the way up to $89 a night in peak season, with a cancellation of 80% refunded, no booking fee. They're not increasing the campsites available, which is disappointing, and it looks like Camps Victoria or Parks Victoria are probably going to implement something similar, or they're going to do an overhaul, because you can't book any campsites right now for any time past 1st of July. Australia is a wild place that belongs to all of us, not just those people that can afford $89 a night or $50 a night. Like, the whole idea is that these places are for families to go and have an affordable holiday. I just really think that we should be able to fix ghost camping without meaning that we're stopping everyone else from camping by hiking up the prices. There has to be an alternative way that we can sort this out so that everyday Australians can enjoy this beautiful countryside of ours. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you like this kind of video, please give me a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.